Welcome back to the Dry Bone Army Podcast YouTube channel. Thanks for watching or listening in. I appreciate it. We're continuing on with my testimony, part 2. Let's dig in. All right, part 2, my testimony is the woman of my dreams. And she is literally the woman of my dreams. And she's here with me. She is the woman that I started dating in college, and she became my wife. This is Amanda Hendon.
Hi, out there in whatever land you're in.
So, yes, she quite literally the woman of my dreams.
Now, hold on a second. More like the Fig Newton of your imagination.
So, part of the reason I fell in love with her was her quick wit and sarcasm. But let's get into it. I came out of Cisco, transferred to Angelo State University. I'm still carrying all that baggage, still trying to find myself. And it was during my time, the beginnings of my time at Angelo State, that my parents joined the Christian Motorcyclist Association. And I started going things with the CMA, and I thought, okay, I know I need to be doing the Christian thing again, but bikers, I can be a tough guy, biker dude that loves Jesus. Hey, yeah, this will be my new persona. I got my colors, and I wore my colors all the time.
You tried to sleep with them.
So it's during this time that I met Amanda. We were in a sport management class together, and we had a bet going of who could make the highest grade. I lost.
Only by 3 points. But you sat caddy cornered.
I sat one row behind and to your left.
Yes, but you still were wearing that cowboy gear.
Yeah, when we first met, I was still in that cowboy phase from that previous girl that I dated. And so in that, but as we went along, it was during our time meeting one another, learning about each other. We didn't date we met in August of 01, and we didn't start dating officially until end of January, 1st of February of 04.
Yeah.
So how did we get there?
Just did not want to leave me alone. That's what it was. I finally had to.
Well, I'm going to get into that.
Okay. Yeah.
But I met this girl. Beautiful girl. Beautiful. I wanted to get to know her better. So we...
Was this the girl that would, in your sport management class, or was this the girl that bebopped to you during the bonfire? And
Well, come on, let me get to that.
Yeah,
All right. Yeah. So let's go back.
Okay.
Rewind. I haven't even started Angelo State yet. I have visited the campus, kind of know the campus layout from the visit. And before I even start attending, I have a dream. And in this dream, I'm walking down the University Mall. Now, the University Mall, it's a long sidewalk that cuts right through the middle of campus. And at one point, on one end, I want to say it's the east end, of the campus, not complete east end, but towards the end on the east side. There's the cafeteria in the middle, or just to one side, the north side of the campus of the University Mall. Is the cafeteria, and then on either side of the cafeteria, two high rises. One side is men's. The other side, which is just the other side of the University Mall, is the women's high rise. Okay, so you get the picture of the layout. I'm walking down the University Mall towards the east, and I get between the cafeteria and the women's high rise, and there's a large group of people. They're all looking up. And I hear someone scream, "Somebody help her." And I look up and I see this woman falling from the top of the high rise. Now, the high rise is 10 stories tall. So I look around, nobody's moving. So I'm like, well, I got to get in there. And I get in there and I catch her. And in my dream, I'm thinking, man, this is the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. And she says, "You saved me," and kisses me in my dream. And she would say that it's always been in my dreams. But she didn't fit what I considered my type. I always considered my type to be a blonde or redhead. And at that time, she was brunette. She was wearing glasses, and I was kind of contacts or no glasses was kind of my thing. I didn't think of a dating situation with a woman with glasses, even though I wore them. I don't know why, but that wasn't for me. But this woman in my dreams, brown hair, and she had brunette, glasses. So forward, I started attending Angelo State University. This woman, and it was later that I remembered that she was the woman in my dreams. It wasn't until much later that I realized that, but this was literally the woman of my dreams. We had the class together that fall of '01, and then there in the middle of the fall, homecoming. What do they do with homecoming? Bonfire. So me and one of my buddies, Do Ray, we're walking to the bonfire. Bonfire's already lit. It's dark. It's late evening, probably 9:30, 10-ish. The bonfire's roaring. It's dark all around. So this silhouette is coming towards me. Kind of not a jog, but a skip and a bounce. But she's coming towards me. I can't see her face because the fire burning behind her and the dark around us.
It was a sight, let me tell you.
So she bounces up. She's got a wrist thing on.
I had a cast on because I had hyperextended my thumb playing volleyball, and just to keep it more protected, I had a cast on. So I play clarinet in the band, and I had to wear a neck strap, much like a saxophone player would.
Yeah.
They actually make them for clarinet people.
Right.
And so that's why I had the thing on had the cast on my wrist.
Okay, so this is the first time I'm seeing her with this thing on her wrist. And we talked for a little bit. I don't remember what we talked about, but
yeah, I was like, "Hey, you're in my sport management class." Yeah. Who are you again? Yeah, my name's Amanda. Yeah, and you're Ricky. Yeah. Now, of course, his real given name is Richard.
Yep.
And of course, when you're being introduced in the class, it's Richard Hendon, And he's like, call me Ricky. So from then on, I don't know who Richard is. It's always been Ricky.
Yeah. So, and I do all my business stuff. I do it by Richard. Yeah, all my government stuff is Richard.
Drives
But
me crazy.
it drives her nuts. But anyway, I, I'm horrible with names. I remember faces. Remember, she's in front of the fire. It's pitch black out. I can't see her face. Amanda Rogers doesn't mean a thing to me because I don't remember names. So my buddy Dore, he's like, "Who's that?" I'm like, "I have no idea." She seems kind of into you. Really? You think so? Yeah. All right. Cool. So,
Now, you need to describe Do Ray. You know,
oh my gosh, I can't even begin to describe Dore.
Do Ray was this black dude who loved everybody and everything.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The-
Now, Dore, when I first started at Angelo State, dorms were overflowed. So they had this one set of dorms that they were getting ready to shut down. They were still working, but they were going to shut down, tear them down, rebuild some other stuff there. So all the overflow they put into this one dorm, and Dore and I each had a room in this one overflow dorm before they moved us. We were almost kind of like suite mates. And then when we moved, we were suite mates. Once they got us moved into the high rise. So we're moving on, and we get to we have the class, we have the bet, we start becoming friends. And I remember in the spring, at the end of the spring semester that year, you came up to me kind of doing the same bounce,
No, it was a full on run.
and you jumped in my arms.
Yes. That was in January of
Was that in,
2002. Mm-hmm.
was that in January
Mm-hmm.
of 02?
Mm-hmm.
So it was when I got back.
Yeah, when you got back.
When I got back for the spring semester.
Yeah.
I was visiting with one of my friends whose wife was working with my mother as an elementary kindergarten teacher, I think. Special ed teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. His wife was working as a special ed teacher at the school my mom was a teacher at in Hawley. He would drive from, I think they were living in Tuscola,
Mm-hmm.
and he would drive to San Angelo, go to school, get his degree. But I was visiting with him.
I actually had him in class.
And she comes running up to me, full on run, and jumps in my arms. And again, he's like, after she walks away, he's like, "Who's that?" Like, trying to remember.
Trying to remember names again.
Names.
He can't remember.
I was in class with her. I don't remember her name. Horrible with names. So
I think that's why I stayed around, so you can remember what my name was. Yeah.
Gosh. I kind of stalked her
He
a little bit.
did. Oh my gosh.
I would see her coming out of a class, and she did have a boyfriend. I didn't like him at all.
No.
I know you didn't hear that. I said I didn't like him at all.
There was a huge competition between you two.
Yeah.
It was funny.
So we go on. We just kind of see each other in passing. I would occasionally ask her to go to lunch with me. Sometimes she would, sometimes she wouldn't.
Or there was the occasional, "Hey, let's go eat at da 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 da" with a whole bunch of people.
Well, that was later on. That's farther down the road. So we're gonna bounce back and forth on this memory thing.
Yeah.
So moving on, we get into the fall of 02.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say it's in October of '02.
Mhm.
Uh, I've changed dorms, and she is desk assistant in the dorm. And I would go see her every chance I got. Weekends, I'd tell her, hey, when you get here at like 8 a.m., call me. I'll come down and visit with you.
And I never
Keep you
did.
company. She never would. No, you did. You
A
did
couple
once or
times.
twice.
Yeah, a couple times.
But I would tell you every weekend, if you're working, call me. I'll come down, sit with you, visit with you. Once or twice. Okay, so this October,
Now let's. Every time it was, why'd you not call me?
yeah, I would go down there 9, 10 o'clock. Why didn't you call me? I'd come down here. Okay, so October. And Friday night, she's working. And I say, hey, when you get off, why don't you come down to my room and we'll watch some movies? She came down. We watched movies. It's late. She's fallen asleep in the chair. I put her into my bed. I sleep on the floor.
At the time, that would have, like, I guess it was my first. You couldn't do that, but they changed the rules where
Yeah.
co-eds were able to.
Yeah, only on Fridays and Saturdays
Yeah.
could a member of the opposite sex stay in your room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So that's Friday. I sleep on the floor. She sleeps in the bed.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday night, she's working. I say, hey, let's watch some movies again. Okay. Again, she's fallen asleep in the chair. I lay her down in the bed. I start laying on the floor. And she said, no, come up here and that floor's going to hurt your back. You come up here and sleep in the bed with me.
Yeah, that was
Nothing happened.
not a thing.
I know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Nothing happened.
Nope. Pure gentleman.
Mama didn't raise no fool. But yeah. So Sunday morning, we wake up and I kiss her. And I say, I think I'm falling in love with you. And her response shocked me.
It was, why? I'm kind of in that half sleepy, is this really real type, sequence.
So why? I'm like, because you're beautiful, you're smart, you're funny. I enjoy your company. What do you mean, why?
Yeah.
So that's Sunday morning. Sunday night, I have tickets with my brother and one of our best friends to go to a live WWE event. I offered to buy her a ticket because she wasn't working that night. Offered to buy her a ticket. She refused. She had other plans. Little did I know that other plans was with her boyfriend.
Yeah.
I didn't know she had a boyfriend. Okay, so we go to the show. We watch them wrestle. We're leaving. As I'm leaving, I try to call her apartment. She didn't have a cell phone at the time. No answer. We get back. My brother and best friend leave. And I try to call 3 or 4 more times. No answer. Monday, walking down the University Mall. And I see her in the distance walking towards me. And as she's walking towards me, I go to say hi. I'm smiling. I'm in a good mood. I'm happy to see her, see that she's okay. She lifts up her right hand and shows me an engagement ring.
Yeah, that's where I was.
And I was like, what? What's going on? It broke my heart. Now, all my fears come flooding back. I'm angry. I'm hurt. Now I'm afraid I'm going to be alone for the rest of my life. I spent some time in my room alone, crying, because I was afraid I was going to be alone for the rest of my life. So time goes on. I find out that she's broke up with her fiance because he became abusive. Glad she got out of that. Then I would try to pursue her. There's other guys. I would get hurt, get mad, find out she broke up. I would pursue her again. She'd go with someone else. Just back and forth. I'm getting hurt. I'm trying to pursue her. And it's just painful.
Yeah, I didn't know what I wanted or who I wanted or the opposite would happen. I would try to pursue them but not get the reciprocation.
Right.
So.
Okay, so you weren't getting the reciprocation, but you weren't looking towards me.
No.
And that hurt me. So
because I didn't see you as that type.
Right.
But unbeknownst to me, I didn't realize that was the track record, I guess, that you had.
So I think I want to say October of 2003. And you're still working the desk.
Mm-hmm.
I had gone home for the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And when I come back on a Sunday night, I'm bringing all my stuff in, laundry, whatever stuff I brought back. And as I'm walking in, she says, "Hey, would you come talk to me once you get settled in?" I'm hurt. I'm mad at her. I don't really like her at the moment because she's hurt me. But I say, "Yeah, I'll come down and talk to you." And I brought my Bible when I come down to talk to you. I don't know why. I don't know what I plan to do with it, but I brought my Bible.
Yeah.
And so
I don't really remember this part about bringing the Bible.
But I went down there. I never used it.
Yeah.
I just had it with me. Security blanket. The Bible.
Protection.
But I went down there and we talked. I guess we started talking about 8:30. Mm-hmm. She got off work at 11. Mm-hmm. I walked her out to her car and we talked there for another hour out at her car. Mm-hmm. And then I asked her if I could pray for her. And she said yes.
Yeah, that's part I remember.
So I prayed that I'm going to delve into some of your stuff.
As long as it's G-rated.
What she wanted to talk to me about was a few weekends before she'd gone to a party. Now, she had been hurt by guys. She was in depression. Mm-hmm. She was taking antidepressants. And she mixed the antidepressants with alcohol, which furthered that depression. Yeah. And at this party, she tried to end herself.
No, it wasn't a party. It was just, I had gone to a party. It was a frat party. And then the other was at the apartment that I had at the time, where I lived with two other girls. Yeah. So yeah, it was actually at my apartment, and it had put me into a trance-like state. Mm-hmm. And so, they, of course, I had of course, I didn't have I just knew I wanted to end. Yeah. And so, but I didn't really have a plan. The plan, impulsively, the plan was there. So I had the weapon of choosing, and in order to break that trance, my roommate's boyfriend had to literally slam me up against the refrigerator to break the trance.
Yeah. So she had friends there that stopped her, fortunately. So she tells me all this during this 4-hour talk. So I'm praying for her, and I pray that God prepare her for the man that's going to be her husband. I pray for the man that he be a godly man, be willing to help her, guide her, and lead her. And this is verbal prayer.
Mhm.
In my mind, I'm saying, God, make me this man. I want to be this man for her. So, December 2003, she's graduating. I'm leaving for the holiday break, Christmas break. Sorry, don't get mad at me. Christmas break. And she comes to see me off before she goes to her graduation.
I think it was
And
graduation practice.
graduation practice. And we hug. And I think I'm never going to see her again. My thought at the time was she's going to graduate and she's going to go back home to Kerrville. I didn't know her plans. So I think I'm never going to see her again. A holiday break or Christmas break, over the break, she calls me and asks me if I'm coming back in the spring. Yeah, I'm coming back in the spring. She said, well, I look forward to seeing you. Okay, great. Yeah. I come back, move back into the dorms. She helps me move back into the dorms. We start spending a lot of time together. During this, in the fall before you graduated, that's when we started going out every other weekend, every weekend, eating meals with friends.
He usually paid for it anyway.
But then that really ramped up starting that spring of 04.
He started remembering what my name was.
Yeah. So it was Kitten.
That's the
No, that was Doray's
that
name
was
for you.
Doray's nickname for me.
Anyway, so things really ramped up from there. So we're going to end here. It's part 2. Next time, part 3, we're going to delve more into our relationship and our marriage. Spoiler alert, near divorce, and God's reconciliation, God's restoration. All right. So thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll be back next time with part 4 or part 3. See what God has done in our lives. And we'll see you in the next time. Thank you, Amanda, for being with me today and all the time.
Yeah.
So we'll see y'all next time.